You're listening to Realmwalker Radio, the Journal of Arlea Brightgrove, broadcast 1.
I just want to take a moment to make our listeners aware and to acknowledge that sanity is one of the major themes of this story. Historically, terms like madness and insanity have been used in conjunction with a very poor understanding of mental health, and often with outright cruelty, as an explanation or a justification for the inhumane treatment of large groups of people, from the mentally unwell to those who were poor or otherwise socially disadvantaged. Our expression of a sanity attribute is exclusively an expression of our character's ability to analyze, intercompare, and compartmentalize information regarding the world around us as we wrestle with the existential truths larger than mortal beings are meant to experience. Having said that, we're not perfect and wanted to give you lovely listeners a heads up. Enjoy.
So we're going to be just like, welcome to Realmwalker Radio. I already fucked up. Welcome to Realmwalker Radio.
Craig heard
You're the
that.
one that pitched the show title.
Yeah, I know, but my mouth doesn't work. But we're all going to be like, welcome to Realmwalker Radio. And we're going to be like, all serious. And you're going to hear just come.
Yeah. Oh, that I can just clip that out as a sample now and just place that wherever I want to. Like if I wanted to put it here,
come.
Yeah.
I could put it here.
Come.
I could put it there.
Come.
I could put it way back in the back.
Come.
On the left,
Come.
on the right.
Come.
There could just be come everywhere.
Come.
Are you happy about that, Bernie?
You know it, baby.
That sounds like the sexiest campaign we've run yet.
I'm not the DM, but I might take the reins for a quick moment as we get this started up. So this is, as you've heard, Realmwalker Radio, where it's 4 friends playing D&D. It came to me in a fugue state at work. And I was like, what if it was a show where it was just 5, 6 episodes, maybe 10, maybe 2 shots, and we just rotate DMs? Because I like running D&D, and I want to run other games, but short form is better for me.
Goddamn fugue state at work, my nemesis.
So,
the daily battle.
So we're going to go around the table. Everybody's going to... Actually, no. Tyler, say hello.
Well, hello there.
Give us the intro to your world.
All right, perfect. The rundown for this first campaign that we're doing as part of Realmwalker Radio is going to be taking place on just an in-and-out homebrew world that I work on called Carcera. This is going to be a pretty small scale, not much of a continent-spanning adventure across, tons and tons of sessions like you might have expected of longer-form D&D playthroughs. But this is a landscape where there are few kingdoms remaining from a past age. There may be 1 or 2 to the far south, but it's nothing that you would have interacted with. It just weeks and weeks and weeks of travel to get to anything that might even be remotely considered a kingdom. But most of the military or political or economic power, a lot of the trade wealth is all commanded by city-states that might offer some protections to small towns or villages that spring up around them. Each of the friends here is actually going to be starting with a cursed page from a scattered journal, the Journal of Arlea Brightgrove, which is where we're getting our title for this first set of sessions, that has been inextricably attached to them, and now they're seeking to return these pages to the lost journal so that they can free themselves of a curse that threatens to madden them with each passing day. And that's about the long and short of the intro.
Hi, my name is Bernie. I'll be playing Killain, a construct built by the head of a noble house. Without his noble house, he lost his purpose and wandered until he found religion. What is the name of that goddess again, Tyler? The goddess of fate?
Endry.
Endry. Yes, Endry. He found Endry, the goddess of fate, and now works as an agent of fate, wandering across the land and helping people where need be. Class, Warlock, subclass, Fate itself. And where it's from is multi-versatility player options pack.
There we go. Okay.
By Federico Pilleri, I believe.
All right.
And there we go. There's my poorly stumbled intro. Killain was built as essentially a human-shaped guard dog. He was meant to protect the head of House Killain as well as all of its members, a job which he very clearly failed in since the house is gone, which is something that will, never not haunt him, considering he is both long-lived and does not forget.
That's
Nice.
rough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you wanted.
So the fact is that you need a hug and maybe a session of therapy or two.
Are we talking about me or the character?
Hey, that's fair.
Anyway, move on to someone else before I get extra sad and start crying on the mic. You don't want that.
Not yet.
No, you let me handle that.
To be fair, I believe that I won't be crying on the mic during this story arc because I'm playing a character literally incapable. He has no tear ducts.
Please pass me that mineral water so that I may cry.
Why did you invite me to a podcast? I cannot talk. My mouth does not work.
Because it's a podcast of friends and you're stuck with us.
Nerd.
You think I'm locked in here with you? You're locked in here with me.
Ooh. Don't threaten me with a good time.
So I'm Devin. I'll be playing Kieran Rayo. If that is too close to Killain, then he's perfectly happy being called Ran.
Killain's first name is Cassandra, if we want to do that.
Nice. I am playing a fighter turned Reaper Warlock, which Reaper is a subclass for Warlock from the Ethereal Expanse setting guide by Ghostfire Gaming. It's interesting, and I wanted to see what I could do with it. So I might have tried to min-max a little bit to try and see what I could do with it, but hopefully not to the point of making it unfun for anyone.
That's okay. I'm fully prepared to hurt you.
Good deal.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Quick rundown of my character is that much like Killain is a scion of Indri, Kerian is a scion of Raishan, the god of death. Specifically, he was living his life when his daughter stumbled across one of these pages of Arlea Brightgrove. And from what we could gather, taking the page from her would cause her untimely demise. And the only way he could get around it was through the direct intervention of the god of death, and in doing so pledged himself to the god of death and is now acting as his scion on this mortal realm.
Perfect.
Okay.
Feel good novel of the summer.
Yeah. I mean, she survived. She is back home with my partner, so
I mean, all's well that ends well, but it's not over yet.
Oh shit, I guess that leaves just me, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's an invisible fourth player you haven't told me about.
Fourth player, speak up.
Craig, come on.
Ugh, not Craig.
Yeah.
They can't be
Craig the recording bot? Who you
We're not
playing?
doing that. We're not doing Craig. Me and Craig. Listen, I knew a guy named Craig. And never mind. I forgot people might hear this. So anyway.
All right, so I'm going to be playing Zibinel, who is a little small Harengon, dresses real shoddily. He is not an orphan, but grew up in an orphanage. And let's see, the class is a rogue. It is the Dawnblade subclass through the Tome of Heroes by Cobalt Press. And a fun fact about Zibinel is he's always munching on something. Chances are it's a coffee bean.
I love how DJ's just like, oh, his character's always much on something. I'm like, my character's sad.
My character is just a happy little guy. All right. And that's yeah.
I love that it was like, I am a scion of the god of fate. I am a scion of the god of death. I like eating things.
So session one is going to begin as you guys are sitting under a covered wagon, a Conestoga-style wagon that's part of a group of three that's just traveling along some of the further trails from a large city-state called Lithlum headed towards a town called Hillden. The sky overhead is still very, very gray here in the mid-morning, still overcast from a fairly significant rain the night before. The easiest word that we would all recognize is just muggy. It's one of those mornings, the air is a little bit thick with the humidity. It's starting to cool off. It's getting into the autumn portion of the year. And overall, it's just a very, very low light day, overcast just as far as you can see. You guys would have been traveling again in the second of these 3 wagons right at the middle of the caravan. So if you poke your head out the front or back, you are treated to just the overwhelming side of the wagon in front of you or behind you, depending on where you're looking. There is an absolutely just delightful character who's been sort of in charge of this whole little trading expedition, if you could even call it that. It's more or less just they've got some things from the higher cities that are coming further out into the country that they're going to trade for, just different, foods. In Hillden specifically is going to be, sacks upon sacks of grain that they'll be taking back with them over the course of a week or two. And that's pretty much all that you can look forward to in Hillden. I don't think any of you have been to this city before, but from what you've heard of it, it's farmingtown.genericfantasyidea.com. Yeah, like that's the whole. That is the whole of Hillden. For anybody who wants to roll me a history check, I could maybe give you a little more.
I would love to roll a history check.
By all means.
All right, here we go. That's a 15.
A 15? Easily. Okay. You would know one of the most interesting things about the town of Hillden is that the name was changed within the past 100 years or so. The place used to actually just be known as Wheat Hill, and that's exactly as exciting as it sounds. They grow a lot of wheat here to export and then use themselves. They also grow some subsidiary grains. They grow like some oats and things like that. You can find millet and things like that being grown here, all for trade and export. And then there are a few other gardens where they have like some vegetables and like just some local people pitch in to take care of farm animals and things like that. They have a few dairy cows that are able to supply the town with, enough milk and butter. They're not dairy rich, I would say, but they don't, this is not a land of extreme wealth and extravagance. This is a very simple farming town with 1 or 2 main exports, and that's about it. Something else that all of you might know is that the people of Hillden are, not struggling particularly hard, but they don't have much, and what they do have in the way of healers and things like that are an ongoing alliance with the druids who live in the hinterland forest just to the north of the town itself. So about a mile out of town, you can actually follow a pathway into the woods if you so choose. The only part of Hillden that extends that far is there's a hunting lodge just beyond the tree line. And the druids live off much further in a grove within the forest up there. But they are often seen in and around the town up until recently. There haven't been many coming through, and that has not brought with it any kind of wave of blight or illness or anything like that. But it is unusual not to at least see 1 or 2 of the druids in town, either trading or just conversing, generally being with the people, this being a very agrarian space on the map. They have a pretty good relationship with the druids, I would say. But yeah, as you guys are getting into town, you're maybe an hour or 2 outside of town, so it's just a little bit of traveling ahead if you guys wanted to begin your day, so to speak, with what limited space you have.
I think at this point, Zippendale is like head out the window. It's like it's like riding through a soup.
Well said.
It's the flavorless bad soup. Why are we going to this town again?
A lead on the journal.
Oh. You know what? That actually makes sense. I guess I can go through the soup town.
What does soup feel like?
How to describe soup? So, it's like water, but thick.
Interesting.
You know what water feels like, don't you?
Well, for me, sensation is different than it would be for you. I have tactile feedback so that I can complete tasks, but I do not really feel the way that you feel.
So that's a maybe on you know how water feels.
I know how water feels enough to navigate it and know when I am touching water.
I think I can make this work. Soup feels like if you were navigating in water and you couldn't move the ship correctly.
Well, I meant more navigating my body, but also yes.
That work.
But yes, that makes sense. It's like thick water.
Mud, but flavored. Sometimes.
Ah, yes. Flavored mud. Everyone's favorite type of soup.
I do not understand if that was a joke or not.
I can't believe no one's mentioned potatoes in all this soup talk.
No, those go in a stew.
It's called potato soup.
Potato soup is also delicious.
Also, it depends on whether or not it's the kind that is pureed or not.
But it is hot mud.
That's fair.
So,
What are we doing?
what is our lead here?
We believe there's a page somewhere in town we might be able to acquire.
We're here to inquire about the page and retrieve it if necessary, or have the person that owns the page come with us.
Yeah, because if we just try and take the page from them, they will become not living.
Expire.
Well, yes, and I do not wish for that to happen. So,
All right, GM, do we have a name for this person?
You do not. You have only heard about this sort of just through things that have been happening. There have been some disappearances right around the forest and some odd sightings that you feel like you could attribute to some of the madness that could be caused by people who are who do not possess like the mental fortitude that you guys might.
Okay. All right, so the game plan: get into town, find some coffee, investigate why druids have stopped coming into town.
Yes, I suppose. Not necessarily sure about the coffee thing, but yes,
I'm pretty sure the coffee thing is very important.
if you say so.
How likely do you think that the druid thing is relevant to our search for the page?
Considering the page's propensity for causing madness and strange occurrences, the druid thing is probably very related.
And it was just the only other thing I'd heard of, so that's what I latched on to.
Fair enough. I'm just, while we're in town, while we're asking about the druid, we might be able to ask about the page as well. See if maybe it's just an unfortunate coincidence.
I mean, well, yes, I don't think the plan was to ask only about the druids. If someone has information on the page, then we can also glean that from them. No matter what, we're able to help with this druid situation, because druids not showing up seems to be a bad sign, considering their connection to these lands and, well, any land where they reside. I'd very much like for this place to not fall to ruin, if I can help it.
They'd have to name it like not Wheat Hill anymore. I'll figure out something that they'd have to name it if they fell.
I feel like, isn't it? Okay, never mind.
Boiled Soupberg.
That doesn't roll off the tongue.
Boiled Soupberg.
Not good anymore, Hill.
That one's just too on the nose.
So none of your characters rolled super high on like naming creativity.
No.
Got it.
I am a construct, good sir.
Naming was my dump stat, I'm sorry.
I was not given the capacity to name. I was only given the capacity to protect and cry, apparently.
Oh, you found mineral oil. Neat.
My God. By what cruel design were you given the ability to cry but not interact with water in a meaningful way?
To be fair, if I was...
In a later campaign, if we find a time machine, you got to go back and get some answers, my guy.
Creator, what is my purpose?
What is my purpose? No, if I was one of the thespian mannequins, then it would make sense because they're like designed for acting and stuff. But I'm a custodian, which means I was designed to be there and get hit instead of other people.
Oh, you were a meat. You were not a
A
meat
porcelain
shield.
shield.
Porcelain's not. Never mind.
If they made a mannequin out of meat, that's just like making a person, and that's weird.
I was about to say porcelain's not good at taking hits, but there's probably a reason that dynasty fell. So,
Well, first of all, I'm one of a kind, good sir. And second of all, there's thick porcelain, and then also I'm also inlaid with something else that isn't good at taking hits, which is gold.
you're very conductive, though.
You'll see this mannequin, like, sort of stick his chest out in a moment of pride and polish himself up a little bit, like, I'm one of a kind.
I am, yes.
I like it. It's around this time, it's between 9 and 10 a.m. Other people are starting to become a little bit active. The people who are up at first light are obviously the ones who are piloting the cart, with the person up front being the leader of the expedition, who is a farmer and trader who you guys know as Waylon. And he takes these trips, a couple of weeks at a time, going to from the city to trade, especially during the warmer months, by virtue of the fact that Waylon knows how to get to Lithlum. Most of the other people have not been far outside of Hillden, if at all. And so Waylon sort of dove on this grenade, so to speak, and foregoes, tons and tons of family time just to keep the village in, everything from stuff like medicines and different trade goods. If you will roll me an investigation check, DJ, you can also sniff around and see if coffee is among those goods.
Oh, man, I'm so good at investigation.
Is that sarcasm or not?
It is not.
Oh, sick. Good. I couldn't tell because you did the voice where you're DJ and I could never tell.
Coffee?
Oh, that is a very good roll. There are definitely several sacks of coffee. These like 10-pound bags, you would estimate a little more than one per household is sort of the estimated trade weight of these for anybody who wants to get some for their home. It's enough to, last them about a cup or two a day over the course of the month that they might have to go without if they refuse to trade. So
I rolled a 21 for that, by the way.
You did?
Zipno's probably going to go over to one of these and just it's like a week's worth of coffee. How much?
Are you just talking to the driver?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Let me get over
He's going to hop up on the seat next to the driver.
They're gonna look confused for a moment. So I don't really price anything out. I'm mostly just driving by the fact that I have, experience dealing with these animals. I can't imagine it would be all that much. Are you trying to purchase the bag?
I would love to purchase. You know what? Since you're not, you should probably just introduce me to the person that you're delivering these to, so I can buy it off of them. It'd be kind of messed up if I bought it off of you and then they don't get the stuff that they paid for, right?
Yeah, you guys would have met Waylon. Your fee, as it were, to travel along with this small caravan was the fact that you are at least self-proclaimed adventurers or mercenaries. You all seem to be able to carry yourself in a way confident of someone who's seen a fight or two. And Waylon's like, normally we have quiet trips, but it's always great to make sure, especially with some weird things going on. So you guys were allowed to tag along without trading anything in exchange for just kind of being some muscle, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
So you would know Waylon, but he's definitely driving the cart up front, because once you are traveling through and stop following the river, there's a couple of ill-traveled roads that are essentially just going through a field, and everybody's sort of counting on his knowledge of how to get between Hillden and Lithlum.
Is that a thing you could do for me?
They'll give you a nod, and they'll just call out. I mean, the other wagon is not so far ahead of them that they wouldn't just hear, somebody talking in a bit of a stage voice. They don't even have to shout that loud. And they'll just say, "Hey, Waylon, you got somebody coming up looking to go ahead and trade." And he'll just kind of gesture for you to just run ahead. You guys are not going that fast. If you just wanted to sprint up there really quick, you could discuss a price.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He is gone.
Oh. Waylon is an older, a little bit more of a rugged guy. He's starting to kind of have a bit of a bend in his back with age, but he's still pretty sharp-eyed. You could see him looking out along the tree line as you guys travel there through the field and just more or less keeping an eye out for more things like animals or different packs of things as opposed to anything like bandits, which you haven't heard much about in the area. But yeah, he'll if you just jump up to where he's driving in the cart, you can definitely chat him up.
Yeah, we'll hop up there and sit next to him. So I'd like to buy a bag of coffee.
A whole bag? A month's worth of coffee?
We don't need to get into the specifics for how long it's actually going to last, but I would like to buy a bag of coffee.
A bag of coffee? I suppose I would be open to that. I mean, are you looking to trade or just buy it with coin?
He is going to pop a coffee bean into his mouth, and he's just going to roll coins across his knuckles.
Okay. He'll give you a nod and scratch his chin a little bit. You can see he's doing some rough calculus about how this would be traded back in a larger city, because a lot of people there buy with coin, is where Hillden, people, it's more of a bartering system. People could just give this for that. And he'll say, well, I could part with the bag, 3, maybe 4 gold pieces.
4 gold. Yeah, I think I can make that work. He's going to slide it into his pocket.
He'll look down and give you another stern look. He's like,
You're driving. You don't need to take your hands off the reins. I got it. Don't worry about it.
Appreciated. But yes, I'll make sure that we take an account for it on the ledger. And if you just want to help yourself to the bag that you choose, you're welcome to do so.
Cool. I already have a bag picked out. He just bounces away right after that. Guys, I got coffee. So now I guess we can focus on the page thing, I guess.
Well,
You really like coffee, huh?
Happy for you.
You're a big fan of coffee, I
As
see.
you say that, he pops another, like he just thumbs another one into his mouth.
Are we sure that you need to be having so much caffeine?
We're not sure. I don't need to have it.
I think your heart might disagree.
My heart's fine. See, look at this.
Can I roll a perception to hear his heartbeat?
I mean, I'm not going to stop you.
I accidentally rolled with advantage, but that's 2 21s.
2 21s. No, you don't just outright hear his heartbeat.
What if I lean in real good?
He'll offer his wrist up for you. See, look, you can just tell. It's completely normal.
Oh, then I'll check his pulse with my dead hands.
With your pulse checking hands.
Oh, your hands are cold.
Yeah, my pulse checking hands.
I don't like that implies like maybe just extra hands come out of your chest to check a pulse. I'm not. Maybe we walk that one back, but
Okay, well then I'll check.
yeah.
it.
If you check his pulse, it is fast. It is very, very fast. You're not sure if that's due to just Hare and Gone biology, like maybe they have just a naturally faster heartbeat, or if
would
this
that be a nature or history or medicine?
I'm gonna call it a medicine check.
That's a 7.
It's hard to tell, but if it is a bad thing, the coffee's not helping. I can tell you that for free.
See, I told you I'm perfectly fine.
Your
long
heart
until we
rate
get
is
there?
very elevated.
I'm perfectly fine. Eye twitches.
Your heart rate is very elevated to a level that for a human would be dangerous.
Good thing I am not a human.
I do not know how much your physiology differs from a human, but I feel like for any creature of flesh, this heart rate is unhealthy.
We're just gonna have to agree to disagree. And he's just gonna plop down
I
next to his.
I don't
thing
know
of
if that's
coffee.
really a disagree. I don't.
I'm
Just
listening.
snuggles the coffee bag.
I'm listening. I'm totally not ignoring you to count the coffee I'm putting into my side bag. What were you saying?
This seems to be a fruitless endeavor, so I will concede.
Might be a better idea just to let him enjoy what little life he might have left.
So are you guys still sitting in the wagon in this moment? Like up under the canvas cover?
I
Yeah.
assume. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if anybody was peeking out, just seeing the day or anything like that, apart from Zibinel going and doing some impromptu last-minute trading. Also, something that would be generally helpful since we're just an audio format is when you guys are making rolls, if you will announce your roll total once you've got that calculated. That way everybody can kind of follow along and get excited or bummed out depending on what we roll.
Always be
every
bummed
time,
out.
baby, every time.
Bummed out every time? Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna say it out loud
I'm going to
every
make a
time.
couple
Let's
of
go.
private rolls really
Hey.
quick.
Announce those.
Hey, wait, but what about saying them out loud, huh?
Yeah, you gotta announce those.
I'm the DM and play by some special rules, and you guys are in a covered wagon, so you wouldn't really see anything.
Okay, so I have two handfuls.
So
should last me
the
for
white
day.
man gets different rules, huh? That's how we're doing it?
Gonna call me out like that?
Democratically, we're split perfectly down the middle.
I bet Devin can roll private rolls too, huh?
No, Devin's not gonna get to roll any private rolls, but that's because he's got a Cajun accent. Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
Zibinel's like,
Yeah,
okay.
I will give you my immediate feedback if I see an exciting roll, and that was a good one.
Uh-oh.
I said good. You don't know if it's good for you or good for me.
Who's the next DM?
Zibinel's like, all right, so one handful in the pack. No, two handfuls in the pack should last me the day. Maybe three. I'll stick with three.
I love
might-
this.
I might have to get some fresh, yeah.
What you're smelling is freshly chewed coffee beans.
They're not chewed yet.
Are you just
Already had
popping
two of
them in
them.
your mouth like tobacco? You just putting one under your lip?
It's more like jelly beans.
Oh my god!
You chew jelly beans.
Yeah, he's chewing. No, he's putting them in a sack to handle on his waist because he's so small he can't carry the bag himself the whole time.
But you've already eaten at least two of them.
Yeah, I've eaten 2 out of like 3 handfuls. It's fine. I've eaten 3 out of 3 handfuls now. It's fine.
What you eating over there? You see somebody else in the cart with you pipe up.
Coffee bean, you want one? He's already throwing it at him.
It'll just hit him and bounce onto the floor of the wagon. And like, well, no, I'm not much of a coffee drinker myself, but I am a merchant. If
To
you're
be
looking
fair,
to do a
he-
little trading, I can give you some of these. And he'll take like the rope tie off of a ceramic jar and open it up, and you'll immediately be overwhelmed with the herbaceous and garlicky smell of what we would recognize as pickles. I don't think you guys have ever heard of these before.
Oh my God.
Sir,
Oh.
I do believe you're mistaken. He is not drinking coffee. He is eating coffee beans.
But
Well, that's weird. Coffee's for drinking.
coffee is also for eating, especially if it's candied. Have you ever had a candied coffee bean?
Candied coffee. You'll see him jot something down.
You know, you said trade, right?
Yes, sir. I'm a trader.
I gave you that. Give me a pickle.
He'll let you reach into the jar and pick your own slice.
Absolutely. Are we talking like just normal store bought, or are we talking about like Clausen, like high crunch, or like
This is
homemade?
this is gonna be the crispiest, crunchiest pickle you've ever had.
I mean,
And
to
it's
be
got
fair,
like big herb notes with a little garlic and a
Ooh.
spice that you can't identify until you notice a bright chili floating in the pickling brine.
That is one of the most sexual things I've heard in my life.
also, I need you to understand that we are in a time period where there would not really be mass production of anything, so every pickle is an artisan pickle, my guy.
No, I just needed to know that, like, for what I would like know reference for, but like after that description, I'm good. Like, all right, cool. How much for the jar?
Brother, if there's one thing I can do, it's describe food. For the whole jar, eh?
That I'm
The whole
giving you
jar.
a character that doesn't eat.
The whole jar minus 1 pickle.
Well, I saw you slinging a good bit of coin over there. One of these pickle jars would normally go for quite a lot. I could let you have it for a gold piece.
A gold piece, you say?
A gold piece, and he winks at you.
I can do
Learn
a
an
gold
insight
piece.
on that wink.
Roll me an insight on that wink.
I think I
That's
also
a
want to.
Zibinel is like zeroed in on that pickle, and he's just like,
I got a
twiddling-
3.
He's twiddling a gold in his finger. He's like,
This man seems to be on the up and up. Give him the gold. You very
Yeah.
clearly want that pickle.
I do want
Oh,
that
that
entire
jar
jar
of
of pickles.
It is about a quart-sized ceramic jar, and it has one of the old-style lids that just sits inside of a little cupped portion at the top, and then that is normally tied in place with some ropes that he has undone to let you sample these.
Is that the only jar you have?
Oh, no. I've been trading these in the big city, and I'm bringing some back to Hillden.
Okay, well, you're going to be
Gotta
too
keep
lighter.
the very, very best stuff from my hometown, you understand?
Oh, you're from Hillden.
Oh, born and raised.
I was at 10 after my 2 food purchases. I'm at 4 because I'm buying 2 of them jars of pickles.
2 of them jars of pickles. Oh, big spender, I see. Big spender. He'll reach in and get you like one that seems really heavy. It's not sloshing a lot, and he'll pass you one, and then he'll tie back up the one that you sampled out of and pass it over to you.
You don't have to retie this one up. I'm going to need food for the road.
And you can see that, like, based on like his packing supplies, he had gone with quite a lot of these. But given that there is no like refrigeration and it doesn't really do to like salt cure vegetables, pretty much the only way that they keep them are through pickling, some kind of cooking and sealing process, or maybe if you were dehydrated. But that would just be like, things like sun-dried tomatoes and stuff like that will keep for way longer on countertops than regular tomatoes. So that's normally how people in places like Hillden would stay on top of stuff like this and make sure that they could eat stuff throughout the year.
Good.
I started with 10. Now I'm down to 4. But I think that makes sense because if he has extra gold, he's just throwing it somewhere.
Always spending on food.
No.
My man, you did just buy pickles worth more than some people's yearly income.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, he doesn't know you. He's giving you the Liflum price, like, paying big city price for a big city pickle.
I mean, these are some really good pickles. I will
That's my
offer
nickname
one.
in college, baby.
Big city pickle.
I
damn
will offer
right
a
it
pickle
was.
to both Killain and Ran.
I'm giving you disadvantage for the entire session if you don't change your Discord name to Big City Pickle.
Oh, I'm for sure about to do that. In which Discord, though? This
All right, you get advantage on your next roll because I love you. He extends a hand and says, "It's a pleasure doing business with you. May I get your name?"
You can call me Zibbanel.
Zibbanel, it's great to meet you, sir. My name is Old Ernest.
Nice to meet you, Ernest.
Old Ernest, what else do you have with you? You said you're a trader? Do you only
Well, I
trade in
mostly
pickles,
just
or do you have more?
I mostly just preserve vegetables, but I'm bringing a few things back from the city that I trade for. As far as my own wares, I've got those pickles that I sold them, which are pickled cucumbers. It's a nice summer vegetable that lasts pretty long once you preserve it. I've got some pickled carrots as well, if you'd be interested. A couple of pickled squash. I've even got some pickled fruits, if you'd be interested.
I have 2 things to tell you, and both of them are embarrassing. I do not consume food, so I'm sorry, but I do not need any of your pickled vegetables. And 2, I was looking for perhaps if you had any furniture polish. My skin is overdue for some care.
Furniture polish? I don't have any on my person, but you can probably get some back in town. Once we get to Hillden, we have some, mineral spirits and stuff that we use to just keep all the woodworks functioning and lasting a long time. That shouldn't be that tough a negotiation, I couldn't imagine.
What would I need
All
to
right, thank you.
roll to know about the pickling process?
The pickling process?
It is
Have you
important
had-
right now.
Have you had any training whatsoever on preserving food?
Like, even if it could have been just something I read in a book.
Just something you might have come across in a book.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you just a raw, we're just going to set an intelligence check here.
Ooh, it's a +2.
We're going to give you a raw one, but I'm not going to set the difficulty so high. This is a pretty common practice that may be easy to come across if you've read anything having to do with food.
Intelligence is going to be a 6.
A 6? You know that there's a brine involved, and the making of brine involves a lot of salt. Other than that, you can just kind of figure out what may have been added to that based on the flavors that you tasted.
Oh, it's not for me. I was hoping Zibonel knew about vinegar.
For cleaning me?
Yeah.
I'll say yeah.
Mildly wholesome.
Hey, Ernest, these
yeah, how
pickles are
can I help you?
phenomenal. Do you have any vinegar left over?
Any vinegar? All of that's back at the house, but I'll be happy to part with a little bit if you need.
There you go. Vinegar for you. I got a pickle.
As for me, I was wondering if you might have any information about these druids that preside over your town.
Oh, snap.
Oh, yes, that makes a lot of sense. We should have
The
asked.
druid folks, I don't know about preside. We more or less operate democratically in Hillden. We hardly even have a mayor unless, just in title alone. There's really not much to do in a position for a town our size. But the druids, once upon a time, used to come into town pretty regular in groups of 2, 3, maybe 4. And, we would, trade them this and that, just things that they could use. And then they would offer anything from just healing services to just things that help the crops grow a little bit better, but we ain't seen them in nigh on a year.
A year?
Oh yeah, it's been a good while. It's since long before springtime. Yeah, it's been nigh on a year since we seen them, and I mean, we had a couple of the folks from the hunting lodge up near the woods there. They normally go into town and bring back, reasonable portions of game just for us to cook and cure, but a couple of them went missing, so they don't travel too far into the woods no more, at least not this year. Any reason you'd be looking for them? You looking for some kind of healing, or?
No, we're more looking for information, trying to figure out if mayhaps their situation has anything to do with some certain pages that we've been asking about.
Pages? He'll scratch his chin and think for a second.
Yeah, specifically those belonging formerly to an Arlea Brightgrove.
Oh, has this got something to do with them old legends?
You could say that, yes.
I see. Okay, then. Well, I mean, that was Arlea Brightgrove. I hadn't heard that name since I was a kid, to be honest. That's he'll think. You can see him, like, really trying to focus in and recall this story, but she was one of them expeditionaries. She went way over beyond the mountains, as I understand, and never did come back, looking for some kind of religious site or something like that, but I never heard about no such pages. Were you talking pages like maps or?
Like
Pages of a diary.
Yeah,
Written by Lady Brightgrove.
I'll be honest with you, it's nothing that I'm familiar with, but there are some folks who are more involved in those kind of matters in town you might want to ask for. We don't have much in the way of a clerical presence, but there is a sin eater in the village. He's getting on in years. He may have heard of something or be familiar with such. The only other person I could think to ask is,
Would I know what a sin eater is in this context?
it is just a cleric of like an absolutionist faith. You don't, without talking to them or seeing any of the iconography or paraphernalia associated with whatever it is that they're doing, you wouldn't really know to which god or which pantheon. But
But just one who absolves people of their sins.
correct.
Okay.
So he's given the loose ability to cure afflictions and stuff like that based on people just kind of coming clean and staying honest. So he's
Listen,
able
man,
to like.
I'm a Final Fantasy 14 veteran sin eater. Like, that makes my ankles jump up. Like, I was.
No, not that. No. We're talking about
I'm
like
over here
more
like,
of a
damn, that's a
traditional
hard-ass title.
lore of a sin eater, in that they use their faith to channel your own and sort of heal you in that way, and provide any kind of spiritual cleansing. Just
if
for
the
us as
goddess of
players, we're talking about like a low-level cleric here. This is not like the
Yeah,
curse
yeah.
breaking, like resurrecting kind. But
Yeah, no, like if the goddess of fate felt like the type to be absolving people, I would for sure want to be a sin eater. That sounds sick as hell. But
Sicker than a
I
bitcher,
don't-
honestly.
I mean, look, if you take some
Yeah,
levels in
well.
cleric, I'm not gonna say what can or can't happen. You know, the only other person he'll point out, he said, "There's one other person you might be able to talk to. I won't go calling nobody a witch or nothing like that, but there's a fortune teller that lives in town, or a lady who would practice such. She might,
Fortune teller, you say?
yeah, she might be able to give you some insight if you're looking for pages or anything along those lines."
Hey,
I will
Ernest,
test the veracity of her claims.
Yes, sir.
is she a witch?
I don't really think so. I mean, what does being a witch even mean?
I don't know. I just wanted to meet a witch.
I mean, you could ask her. She might be a
being-
witch. She's a really
being a
kind
witch-
sort, so nobody in
being
the
a
town has
witch
ever cast her
generally-
in such a bad light, and the word witch sort of has a connotation to it, so I'm just careful when I throw it around.
Okay.
All her prophecies either nice nor accurate.
Well, accurate enough, I would say. She's able to sort of predict different anomalies and stuff that would happen in the town. She doesn't normally go around predicting things such as, loves and marriages and everything like that, but she is able to use some kind of divinatory practice, I guess you'd call it, to at least, make the town aware of big things coming up.
It sounds useful. Sounds like being a witch is a good thing then.
Yeah, she offered the first warning against the hunters going deep into the woods, and sure enough, it wasn't but a week or two down the road that a couple of them went missing.
Do we know what happened to these hunters?
It was at her behest that we didn't, that nobody really checked, from what I understand. It's been nearly a month since I've been back to town, so I mean, they may have gone and done something of it, but I won't know till we get back here in just a bit.
I suppose that is something else we will need to ask about. I'm assuming, like most towns, there's a tavern that one would go to where one would find information.
We got an ale house. It's not the biggest building you've ever seen, but
Well,
yeah, there's something like that. It's just where the locals kind of drink in the evening time.
Well, I figured if anyone would know about the hunters, it would be people at a local watering hole, as it were.
I mean, if anybody knew anything, they'd likely be getting a drink. I can't make you any promises, you understand, but it'd be certainly worth checking out if that was your interest.
Yeah, well, I just figured it would be better than walking around and knocking on everyone's door, mostly because I feel like that would cause a disturbance.
Well, I reckon they'd appreciate that. Folks in town stay pretty busy with choring and such.
The local sin eater, what god do they worship?
Old Arnor?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
I'm not. To be honest with you, I'm not much of a religious sort myself. I don't know many of the gods by name. I mean, other than some of the big ones, I suppose.
Do you at least know the domain of his god?
Well, I've never
Other
really
than
gotten a
absolution.
particularly good feeling from what I see, but nor do I feel it's malicious in another way. So,
So if one would put on a spectrum, they might be neutral, eh? That's what we're saying?
yeah, you kind of get from what he said, you kind of get a neutral vibe, you know.
Sounds to be like that, you know?
I feel like while he's talking, Kira's gonna lean over to Zivanel and just be like, "May, do you happen to catch the name of that there, potential witch?"
He's going to do that thing people do where they like toss their head back to like quickly swallow something as he's killing off that jar of pickles. Which name? No. I know the sin eater's name is Arnor or something close to that.
What is the
Arnor is
name?
correct, yes.
What is the name of the potential witch in town?
That would be Miriam.
Miriam. You have been quite helpful. Thank you very much.
Well, I do what I can.
How much for a jar of vinegar?
You
I
want to
mean-
try using this leftover brine from this?
I do
Pickle jar
not
with
wish
no
to smell
pickles?
like pickles, no.
Why you don't smell?
Honestly, I
first of all,
I don't have any on me, but it is pretty much just really bad wine. So, I'll part with it just for some copper pieces, but I'd also look into some mineral spirits just to keep the wood from dehydrating, and especially if you were planning on pursuing these hunters up into the wood where it gets quite cold.
That's fair.
Gonna go from soup to cold.
I don't necessarily need the vinegar. I just wanted to give you compensation in some way, but this feels inadequate, so I'll just hand you some silver.
Oh, well, thank you so kindly. And
And I'll
you'll see
take
him like reach in and just put that in a vest pocket. I'm gonna spread that around town myself. I appreciate your generosity.
I like this guy.
It is only fair given all the
Yeah, old Ernest is legit.
given all of your helpfulness. It is only fair that I compensate you in some way.
Well, it's much appreciated, and I'll be sure to share that with as many as I can.
Honestly, you know what? Here's a gold. The man's way too cool.
God, I kind of want to slide a hand another gold into his pocket.
Look at y'all being fucking chaotic good.
I am going to slide a gold into his pocket.
All right. So, give me that slight roll.
13.
Whew. He'll look down and give you another wink.
I mean, I'm doing it right in front of him. Just put my head. Hi.
It's much appreciated, much appreciated. This will go a long way in town, I promise you that.
I'm glad. Take one more gold off my character
We
sheet.
have to get out of this cart before we try to take this man with us.
Please don't take this man to the woods with you. I'm begging you, please don't take this man to the woods.
Not to the woods where the soup becomes gazpacho.
Oh, no. Hey, gazpacho's great. You watch that.
Well, yeah, but do you want to swim in gazpacho? Don't answer that question.
Yeah, Kieran, you want to swim in gazpacho?
No, I was asking you, Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler, you freaking fiend. You trying to swim in gazpacho?
I won't judge a man for what he does with his free time.
Well, if you're not going to use this brine, I'm going to chug that.
I'll- I'll
thing of brine.
judge a man for a couple of the things he does in his free time. There's some limits.
Yeah, there are hard limits to what I will and won't judge people for.
As you are taking a frankly disturbing swig of the pickling brine and getting some of like the seeds of the chili lodged in your teeth is a little spicy. Everybody, make me a perception check using your sanity attribute, please.
Uh-oh. +2 to this.
Are we proficient?
Oh, that's a plus. That's a 1. I rolled a 1.
Are we proficient in sanity?
Not if it doesn't say so on your character sheet.
Well, considering none of the classes give you percent,
I guess not.
Then we just go and roll a d20, huh?
Oh, yes.
I got 3.
I got a
A
21.
3? Ooh.
21.
21.
The website is being very slow.
Yeah, that's why I'm on roll 20.
Yeah, same here. After this, I will give you a link to this site.
Yeah,
To
we
this
should all
roll
just
20?
be over here.
Yeah.
I don't know why we tried to be different. We just need to use roll 20.
We tried to be fancy.
This is our new podcast. We had to be different.
Listen, the fans don't need to know that we're in roll. I say fans.
Look,
if
we
haven't
got to
ever.
be different, or somebody like Brendan Lee Mulligan's going to fly out of nowhere and kick me in the teeth. I don't know. He wouldn't do that. By all accounts, he's a nice guy, from what I understand.
So when you say proficient with it, since this is a perception, if we're proficient in perception, do we get to add proficiency?
If you are proficient in perception, you do.
Oh, then I got a 24. No,
Ooh.
23.
Yeah, I was
If
about to
that's the
say,
case.
at level 3, you should just be adding another 2 for your proficiency if you're proficient in perception.
If that's the case, I rolled a 9.
But as far as like the actual saving throws, I'm not going to tell you that you cannot become proficient in a sanity saving throw. I'm going to tell you that currently you are not.
Also, Tyler,
Uh-huh.
I rolled a 9. My passive perception is a 16.
Your passive perception according to which stat?
Wisdom.
So, is your sanity the same score?
It would be a wisdom. I have a +4, so it'd be a 12. I think
12? I'll let you roll for it or use your passive. That's up to you guys.
I use my passive.
Okay.
My passive sanity.
Normally, the way that I handle that is if you roll below your passive, you just set it at your passive. And I'll say that for perception, investigation, and insight. Those are 3 scores. Like, I mean, there is a certain level of lie you just don't have to roll to detect, right?
Mhm.
So those are the 3 that I normally stick with as far as like the passive scores are concerned. But yeah, so we've got a 12. Bernie said you had a 24. What'd you get, Devin?
23. but yeah.
It would also be using my passive of 12.
Using a passive of 12. Bernie, we're going to start with you. You feel like you are being watched and not from a distance. You almost feel a presence immediately behind you. For Devin and DJ, you both are overwhelmed to the point to where you are just paralyzed for a moment. You cannot move. Zibinel, you almost choke on that last swallow of pickling brine.
Worth it.
Like just an otherworldly cold washes over you both, and it chills you to the point of paralysis.
Okay.
That's all you know.
I'm gonna take a look at old Ernest. How's he looking?
Old Ernest, let's see how old Ernest is looking. Oh. Old Ernest almost passes out.
Oh no.
I'll do my best to like attempt to catch him if he like buckles a little bit and it looks like he's about to fall.
He'll lean forward and he'll look up at you and say, I appreciate that. I think I got lightheaded there for a second.
Yes, well, long trips can really take it out of you. Yes?
Oh, yes, I would say so. And you'll see him, like, reach into a bag and pull out, like, a quite larger jar. This seems to be, like, a personal stash of, like, pickled mixed vegetables. And he'll, like, get a few pieces out. Hadn't eaten today. Got to get the old blood sugar up,
Yes. I know exactly how that is.
As do I.
I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fine. No, I'm only kidding. I fully understand. I have been around people my whole life, but yes. How close are we to town? Are we here yet?
You could. He'll look out. He is old, Ernest. His eyesight's not the best, but he said, "I can't imagine we're far. Maybe a half hour or so."
I feel like he sees more than all of us, Tyler.
Well, he did just roll a 1 on that check.
Listen, man. In my heart, I know Ernest is gonna come back and save us at the end of this. Okay.
He's gonna show up as like a level 20 wizard and just kick ass.
Pickle wizard.
Good news, everybody. I found the other 300 pages.
He's going to descend on the wings of an angel. Your generosity has been repaid, and just kicks some ass.
God.
Oh God, I wish, but I don't think
you never know who's an angel in disguise, I guess.
I don't think the end of this campaign is gonna be that funny.
Yeah, shit's kind of wild out here, to be honest.
I'm gonna try and take a peek out of the caravan.
Yeah, are we still stunned?
Yeah, I'm
gonna say that you are not stunned. You are moving with some trepidation.
Yeah.
What Bernie felt was a unique paranoia of like a figure being right behind him. Like you could almost feel a body touching yours. You guys just feel like a general but powerful anxiety coming from nothing in particular.
I did not like that.
You are all uniquely aware in this moment. You just have a flash in your minds of where that page is on your person as well.
Okay. Also, I just want to address something really quickly.
Yeah.
Something unimportant, but I can smell.
You can smell.
I have.
Good to know.
I will remember that going forward.
And so I do not want to smell like pickle juice or vinegar.
Okay, but what if I wanted you to?
I feel like that's a really weird thing. That
if you wanted him to, you need only roll a sleight of hand.
In waste pickle juice? No, sir.
I feel like maybe that's the thing that you need to come to terms with. You wanting your friends to smell like pickles? Not great.
I want my friends to smell like things that I love and care about, even if I did just start loving and caring about them.
In this moment, I learned that I love pickles, and now I want them everywhere.
But if you love and care about us, then wouldn't us smelling like us mean we would smell like things you love and care about?
Would you rather somebody smell like they
Interesting.
normally smell or smell like delicious food?
It depends on how they normally smell, and I personally do not eat, but if I did, I feel like I would not wish for my friends to smell like something that would make me want to consume them when I was hungry.
I pop a coffee bean into my mouth. But what was that? Like,
The page is doing their thing.
Dude, this is still wildly new to me. Is this a normal thing?
Yes, it's a uniquely terrible experience that we will all share.
Devin, you said you were peeking out of the wagon?
Yep. Especially if we had some kind of anxiety, he would probably just get a little restless.
Are you looking for anything in particular, or are you just taking a glance around? What is the vibe right now?
Because the way you said that we just became anxious and kind of, I get uneasy.
Yeah, just a kind of dread that you feel in your chest makes it hard to breathe, kind of situation.
Yeah, he would probably just just take a peek outside just to see like what the general area is like. Just trying to get a change of scenery. So nothing in particular to look for, but just kind of glancing around. See if the soup is lit up.
Then make me a perception proper, and that is just using the regular wisdom stat for that. So if you want, let me know what you got. We'll see what you find.
Yes, sir. That is a 5 on the dice, and my perception is a 3, so that is a total of 8.
So wait. All right. So with a total of 8, there's some things I can tell you. There's some things that I can't hear.
If we're doing the passive rule, then my passive would be 13.
13? Yeah, so I'll let you stick it at a 13. Even with a 13, to see some of the finer details of what may or may not have been going on, you'd have needed a pretty acute check, I would say. But just in general, the thing that you notice is that the day is unusually dark, even for overcast, and where you feel like you would normally hear the sounds of animals nearby, even with wagons passing through, you hear nothing. Not the single tweet of a bird, nothing in the sky, nothing throughout the grass, nothing at the tree line.
I would probably look back to the other two and just kind of give them a knowing nod and just do like the hand symbol of like pointing to his eyes and then pointing out to the outside. And he would step out towards where the driver is seated, muttering under his breath. He would probably cast a false life on himself.
Gotcha.
With that information, in 2 quick motions, there is now a dagger in Zibinel's hand, and he is out the window and on top of the wagon we're in.
Okay. If you're moving out, and I mean moving out quickly, taking no other actions, I'll let you also make a perception check if you'd like.
Absolutely.
Killain will just move to the other side and sit directly next to Old Ernest.
That is a 16.
A 16?
Mm-hmm.
All right. At a 16, as you are looking over near the tree line, it is definitely just a very shaded bower situation that you're looking at. You could swear that you see or saw a humanoid figure moving. You don't see them anymore, but you would have caught the faintest glimpse.
Okay, so Zibinel's going to try and shake off the heebie-jeebies that he just had, trying to refocus on where he saw the figure moving to. Not where he saw it, but where he saw it dashing off to.
Gotcha. So that would be a great opportunity for me to just kind of explain a bit of the landscape here. You are in the foothills of some mountains that sort of draw upwards to the north to an apex, almost in a triangular shape, and the forest that rolls up those hills is that hinterland forest. Right now, just in the foothills, you're not seeing much snow on the trees, but if you look to the north, you'll see where like the snow has come off the mountain. It's all on the treetops there. That's why you're starting to feel like unseasonably cold as you guys have journeyed pretty far north in the past couple of days. This tree line, you saw this figure moving up towards the forest that is more near Hillden. And from on top of the wagon, you get enough of the horizon that you can actually see the tops of buildings and houses, just barns. You can see a little bit of smoke coming up into the air from a couple of chimneys and things like that. So you know you're close. It's not going to take you but 15, 20 minutes for the carts to be in town proper. And you can already see like just really rolling fields of wheat. What you might have imagined to be like just a sea of shimmering gold in a proper season like this looks a little phthalo, like the color looks a little drained. It's got a bit of a blanched pallor that you might not have expected of wheat fields.
Okay. Either of you guys got eyes on whatever this is?
No, did you see something, Shaw?
I saw a shadow of something. But also, it looks wrong out here. It looks really wrong out here.
Ask the driver to stop the cart.
He will slow the cart, but you know everybody's kind of trying to get home to Hillden, so he'll look back. Is something going on?
Maybe. My friend seems to have spotted something in the tree line. And I trust his eyes.
Waylon, we might have a situation. You'll see him. All of the carts will slow. And Waylon says, what kind of situation? We're maybe 10, 15 minutes away.
Actually, don't tell them to stop. Tell them to speed up.
Speed up? These old oxen are tired.
He's doing that thing to where he's like bouncing from leg to leg just with anxious energy.
Yeah.
If they have slowed down, Kerian will probably jog up to the front where Wayland is, and just tell him that we may have spotted some unexpected guests.
Unexpected guests whereabouts?
He's gonna kind of just like motion with his eyes without pointing, but towards where Zibinel had indicated.
He'll give you a nod and just kind of keep an eye out over in that direction. Caravan will keep going, but you can see that he's staying to like the far side of the field there before they hit back on the road to just get into town proper, sort of given where you've pointed a wide berth so that at least nothing could immediately jump out and surprise you guys.
The whole time, like if he sees that they are not speeding up, he will anxiously get ready for a fight.
Okay.
Kieran's gonna kind of just let the caravan catch up to him and then hop back on and kind of nod to his two companions and just be like, well, if they're right, we might have a little bit of an advantage. If they don't know we're coming, but we know that they're there, might give us a little bit of a leg up.
Maybe. Hopefully it's just shadows playing tricks on us and it won't come to that, but if it does, then we'll be ready.
That didn't feel like a shadow.
I know. I felt it too.
I want to give one more look over the horizon to see if I can see anything.
Interesting point of order. Bernie, you said that you can smell?
Yes.
Make me one more perception check, again with your sanity.
All right. A 9.
That's enough. You definitely smell blood, and you definitely hear flies.
Corpses. They're corpses.
Are you saying that out loud?
Yes.
Okay. Ernest will just look confused and stammer for a moment. What do you guys think?
I hate that I have to ask this question, but this is the reality that I seem to be in. Are they moving?
I don't know. I smell blood and hear flies.
I'm not supposed to swear. Okay.
You smell and hear nothing. Same thing for Devin.
I mean, it might not be corpses if you're just smelling blood and flies and not decay.
Depends on how fresh.
Yeah, your olfactory senses may be a slight bit better than mine then. I'm not sure I smell anything.
All I smell is pickle juice.
Well, to be fair, you are saturated in it. Like you are about 30% pickle juice now.
A truly tragic amount of pickle juice.
Don't make me laugh. This is a tense situation.
According to my estimation, you will soon be more pickles than Hare and got.
Not a bad way to go. I don't see anything up here. I think for the rest of the trip, I will take watch up here.
It's only 15 minutes, so we'll see.
I will take this moment to switch out from having the dagger to pulling out a short bow from my back.
Mhm.
And I'm just going to notch an arrow to it and just keep an eye on the road in places.
As you guys get closer, you're 5-10 minutes out of town tops. You are at the edges of these wheat fields, and there's just like a narrow dirt roadway that's kept fairly smooth, but it's nothing that's ever been paved. They just more or less keep it free of rock so it doesn't damage the cart wheels as they come through. If you are up top, Devin, if you're still outside, both of you make me another perception check.
Via wisdom or via sanity?
Be it via wisdom. You're actively looking for this in this moment, so I'm not going to make this something that you are perceiving with another sense.
So, a perception?
A prescription?
So while they're doing that, since like he smelled blood, Killain is going to put his shields, and underneath the shield, summon his back to the trigger pistol.
Okay.
That's a 20 on my end.
I got a 17 dirty.
A 17 dirty. Both of you see the wheat moving as though there is a figure, maybe two, charging through it alongside the caravan.
About how far out?
Maybe 20 feet. Just running parallel to the way you're going, almost trying to get ahead of you, it looks like.
Guys, we have company.
I'm on it, Zib.
Everybody go ahead and roll me an initiative.
This episode is brought to you by us here at Realm Walker Radio. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you are enjoying the episode so far. And if you're liking it, why not leave a comment, a review, a like, or a share? It would mean a lot, and it would appease the dark algorithm gods that we are forcibly bound to. Also, this is the second time I've had to edit this episode. Make sure you back up all of your work, kids, and then back up the backups, and then make separate backups of all your other backups. Have an infinite feedback loop of backups. I am sorry. It started spiraling. Right. Anyway, the next episode is going to be going up 2 weeks from now, and we hope to see you then. Now, back to what I'm sure is going to be a nice time with absolutely no danger at all. Nope, everything's going to be fine.
Good thing I'm caffeinated.
That's an 18 on the die.
That is a 20 for me.
That's an 11 for me.
So I got 22 total.
22, 20, 18, and then
I got an 11.
11. Cool. So I am showing Kerian first. What would you like to do?
If they are trying to get ahead of us, I'm going to also try and get ahead of us and try and see if I can't go on an intercept course.
Are you moving through the wheat or along the roadway?
Along the roadway, trying to get ahead of the caravan. I'm assuming they're going through the wheat, also heading towards the front of the caravan or ahead of the caravan. So I'm just going to go, I guess, up parallel to the caravan on an intercept course with them.
Gotcha. All right. So is that going to be like your action and or your movement and a dash, or how do you want to do that?
How far can I get? I'm not sure what the distances are.
These figures are moving very, very quickly. When you spotted them, they were immediately alongside of you, but they seem to be charging straight ahead.
Then yeah, I'd probably sprint as well.
Okay. They don't seem to be converging along the roadway at all. You're not even sure that they are aware that you've seen them yet or anything like that. So you, right now, you're just proceeding to try and get ahead and maybe make sure that you are not caught off guard. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just since I'm a bit of a defensive fighter, that maybe getting ahead of them, getting ready for them, and preparing myself for when they eventually emerge.
Gotcha. So that instinct takes over, like your posture changes, you are in a stance, you are moving, shoulders ahead, like you're ready to go, you are ready to engage in this moment. DJ, what are you up to?
Okay, so I'm on top of the middle covered wagon, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
How far is the other covered wagon from where I'm at?
20 feet, I would say.
I don't think I could jump that.
Yeah,
But
they don't tailgate in this caravan.
What I'm going to do is track the splits in the wheat, and I'm going to use my bonus action to dash. To try and stay as close to the split in the wheat as possible.
Oh, so you're charging through the wheat?
No, I was on top of the thing. I'm going to use movement to get off of it and run alongside the caravan.
Okay.
Keeping my eye on that split in the wheat before I...
You only got a good look at that because of the height that the wagon offered you. So right now you'd be going along like just the sound that you're hearing of something moving alongside.
Oh, if that's the case, instead of doing that, I'm watching the split. I am going to aim right in front of where I think it's going to go next, and then I'm going to let loose an arrow.
Okay, you can roll me an attack at disadvantage, please.
I can do that. Let's see. I'm going to use my bonus action to cancel that out with steady aim.
Steady aim? All right.
Yeah, and that's just going to be a short bow. 17.
All righty. I'll give you a free perception to see if that maybe did anything. Otherwise, it would be hard to tell.
14.
You certainly shot an arrow into some wheat.
Oh, God dang it. That is my turn.
All right, Bernie, what would you like to do?
How big is the window on the cart?
It's Conestoga style. There are only the parts in the canvas at the front or the back of it. There's really like no window along the side. This is not that fancy of a wagon. The fact that it is covered at all is just a sign of considerable advancement for this town.
And so you said the split in the wheat was 20 feet off to the side of the cart?
Yeah, it's about 20 feet away to the left side of the cart, and when they last tracked it, it was moving parallel to the cart. They hadn't like directly engaged with the cart or anything around it at this time.
So if I were to slip out the back of the cart and run that way, I might get to...
Yeah.
Then I will do that.
Alrighty, so that'll be your movement. Are you moving into the wheat or just up the roadside?
Into the wheat.
Into the wheat. Okay, you will not have a problem identifying where some of the wheatgrass is bent, as like a figure has just charged forward, irreverent of like the farm itself. So you can certainly follow that, and you can use your movement. Do you want to use your action to move as well?
How close can I get to them just by using my movement?
It's hard for you guys to tell exactly where they are, but you can sort of get an image in your mind of like how far along the caravan you are. And based off getting out, moving into the wheat, and moving up, you can tell that you're probably alongside the first cart in the chain. But this thing is still ahead of you, whatever this is.
I will continue running parallel to them, and I will fire an Eldritch Blast in their direction.
Ooh. Okay, so you're just firing an Eldritch Blast straight ahead?
Firing an Eldritch Blast at the split in the wheat that I can see.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an attack there.
7. It's gonna be a miss.
You do fire an Eldritch Blast into the wheat.
Yep, I sure do that.
You do that. So we
I'm
will...
also going to bonus action. The thing that he brought us into, the Roll20, has some spells in it that I had never seen before. I don't know which book this is from, but there's a spell in here called Armored Heart.
You said Armored Heart?
Yeah, I'll tell you what it does. Give me 1 second. Spells. Armored Heart. Armored Heart. The target creature gains resistance to bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing damage. This resistance can be overcome with adamantine or magical weapons. I will be spending a spell slot to apply this to myself. It is a bonus action.
Okay, perfect.
If that is okay with you, Lord our God, Tyler.
Yeah, and how long does that spell last?
A round.
A round? Got it. Is that concentration?
No.
Gotcha. All right, so we are back at the top of the round. Devin, how would you like to proceed? I'll go ahead and tell you before you move, you get the sense that you are either right beside whatever was moving or just ahead of it.
Whatever this is very close.
You can tell it's maybe 10, 15 feet just inside the wheat field.
Is it maintaining parallel trajectory or is it heading towards us?
Difficult to see from ground level.
That's fair.
I will give you a freebie perception if you want to try and listen to something like that. But in the heat of the moment, that's probably going to be a disadvantage.
Okay. I mean, I'll no sense not trying. First roll is an 8, and second roll fell off the table. That was 17, so it is an 8 plus 3, so 11.
Them dice are crisp.
Crispy. He's rolling on glass.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is really, really hard to tell. But based on where you first saw the wheat parting, you do feel like it's at least gotten closer.
Okay. You said I was probably a little bit ahead of it?
That's a really safe assumption for you.
Okay. I'll probably take a few more steps just to make sure that I am a little bit ahead of it. So that way, if it does continue forward, I'll be able to catch up pretty easily. But if it does just veer directly into us, I'm not too far ahead.
Gotcha.
And then I am going to use my training in my past life as a guard for a city up in the mountains, and just gonna kind of take a squat stance and ready that halberd.
Gotcha. All right, DJ, what you doing?
I mean, I can't see them.
You cannot.
Whatever
this figure is, they are beneath the threshold of like the top of the wheat, but you can essentially only see it's almost like a boat moving through the water. Like you can see the wake of their motion going through the wheat field there.
How far is their wake? Well, how far is their divot in the field away from me?
It is just in front of the first wagon and just a little bit behind where you see Kerian has stopped, just by the fence post there along the roadside.
So if I wanted to, say, make a jump into the path it left behind, what would I be rolling for that?
If you want to roll, I mean, I'll give you an acrobatics if you want to jump cleanly and maybe not as far, but if you're just trying to long jump this, it'll be an athletics.
What is the distance, if you wouldn't mind me asking? That does matter.
The overall distance between you and the first wagon, or you and just like sort of where this thing has left this trail in the weed?
The trail in the weed.
Okay. I would say about 15 feet from you if you wanted to try and jump right on that trail.
All right, cool. I'm going to do that by like just spreading my legs out, doing like a quick squat or two, and then just jumping over.
Anime.
Because I have rabbit hop.
Yeah. Do
I can
your
jump
rabbit
5
thing.
times my proficiency bonus.
God damn.
I am disappointed they didn't call it the bunny hop.
So I will do that and spend 5 feet of movement after to get into the path.
Perfect.
And I'm just going to aim down the path and let an arrow loose.
All right, roll me an attack.
No disadvantage?
Are you using the same feat as you did before to cancel it out?
No, I had to use my bonus action on the rabbit hop.
Okay, then you are attacking an unseen target, so it would be disadvantage.
I can deal with that. Let's go. That is a 10. But the other one was a 20. I lay on the ground and cry.
So you send an arrow sailing through the grass. You don't hear anything immediately. How tall are you, DJ?
5'5".
5'5".
I am engulfed by this wheat.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because this thing isn't necessarily attacking you, but if you had jumped directly into the path, then you'd be right ahead of Bernie. Bernie, what is your AC?
A 17, my friend.
A 17.
Dang, that's really good.
I used my starter feat to get moderately armored. Thank you very much.
Ooh, look at you being smart, because you know I'm mean. All right. This does roll a total of 19 to hit you with a thrown weapon.
Is that weapon magical, and what type of damage does it do?
It does slashing damage, and technically it is magical.
Damn.
Wait, no, this one's not. This one's not.
Hey, I resist it, baby.
Okay, so you do get resistance. All right, so that goes from 7 to either 4 or 3. Devin, do we round up or down in 5e?
I think technically it's up to you, but
we'll round down. Take 3 slashing damage from what appears to be a very, very crude stone hand axe. But the blade edge of this thing is not smooth like for slicing or chopping a tree. It is very jagged, meant for tearing.
Joke's on you, bitch. I don't have flesh.
Happy for you.
But that'll be 3 damage if you resist that.
Yeah, I resist it.
All
no,
right.
I'm just letting it through. Just let it go.
And then do you have any other actions, DJ?
I'll use the rest of my movement, I guess. It took 5 to get into the trough? The thing of wheat, so I guess I'll just go 25 feet towards the front.
25 feet? Damn, these Hare and gun. All right. At 25 feet, you can get ahead and you stop in just a small cleared area of the wheat where they've got like a scarecrow posted, and you don't see another part of the trail necessarily, but that is where your movement will leave you.
Okay.
And then it will be this thing's turn. Oh, all right. Go ahead, Bernie.
How close is Zib to me?
You don't know exactly where it is, but you can probably make it to right where...
I was asking how close Zib is to me.
Oh, Zib. Okay, you can probably make it to him with your movement. You shouldn't have to dash to make it to right where he's at if you want to go ahead and like meet up.
And how far is the cart with Kerian? How far is Kerian from me?
Kerian is maybe 35 feet ahead and then about 10 feet over on the roadside.
How far is he ahead of Zib?
Zib, probably 10 feet.
Okay, so then I will run up to Zib and I will cast Bless on all of us.
Ooh, everybody go ahead and just mark that so you remember.
Yep.
And that gives you plus an additional d4 on attack rolls and saving throws, if I'm remembering right.
You are remembering correctly, yes.
Freaking sweet.
Yeah.
What a fucking spell. Underrated, if I do say so myself.
Damn right, baby.
All right. Did you want to do anything else with your turn, bonus actions or anything?
No, I am just going to keep pace. I'm going to keep running.
Gotcha. So that brings us to the top of the turn order. Kerian, what would you like to do?
It still didn't come out of the grass?
Not that you've seen. You don't hear much movement at all other than that of your compatriots. They seem to have come to a stop, trying to look around and see what's going on.
If I were to call out to them, would I have to wait for their turn to respond?
I'll let you guys have like a short back and forth as a free action if you want.
Y'all got eyes on it?
No.
Still no.
I shot at it twice and missed.
After hearing them, can I use the following silence to listen again?
Absolutely.
That is a 16 on the dice, which is a 19 total.
Okay, so what you're going to hear is the wooden axles that are straining with the weight of the carriages as they're passing behind you at this point, because they've still been moving. At this point, they have kind of picked up the pace, trying to let you guys handle this and put the ruckus behind them. You're hearing a few panicked whispers, a little bit of whimpering out of some of the carts. After the silence of your friend speaking in the field, you hear nothing.
All right. Until we get eyes on it, probably just going to do his job and continue to protect the caravans as best he can. So he's going to keeping that stance and ready in action to take a swing at anything that comes out of the grass that isn't his Warforged friend or his Harengon friend.
Ooh. Alrighty, so that is a readied action just in case you see something. We will move to DJ. What you got for me?
Annoyed rabbit sounds as he heads out of the wheat.
Go ahead and recreate that for us.
So as you go to leave the small cleared area, would you make me a perception with your sanity score, please?
Oh, sure. I can do that for you, my friend Tyler. That is going to be a 14.
A 14. Good. So before you start to move, you'll take a quick look around. The scarecrow that you had run up to is no longer on its post.
I'm supposed to curse.
They got scarecrows moving out here. All right, cool. All right. What are we doing?
I'm just gonna say, Killain,
Yes,
the scarecrow's missing.
of course.
I will whip around for signs of the scarecrow.
You hear the faintest sounds of movement 10 feet away from you in the wheat. You cannot tell what direction.
Oh, I don't like it. Oh, wait, I gotta get out of the wheat, I think.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna head out of the wheat so I can have better visual. Because all I'm seeing is like tall white reeds.
Gotcha. So you're just headed like directly for the roadside, or are you kind of headed at an angle where you heard Kerian talking to you?
When I jumped into the wheat, was there like a fence, like as a border?
There is a small fence, yes, just to keep...
I'm gonna
go
head
ahead.
towards that to hop onto it.
Okay. As you step into the wheat, go ahead and make me a dex save, please.
Oh boy. So I see. You see, the problem here is I'm a small guy, and you don't have to hit me.
Oh.
That's a 10.
I can see how that would be a problem.
That's a 10.
That is a 10. All right, you are essentially swept off of your feet and being quickly dragged behind something. So as you look around, you are seeing a figure covered in just tattered clothing with like straw coming out at all angles, but it's all wet, like the straw is matted together, and there is a horrific stink of decomposition coming off of this thing.
Do I still have...
It is truly disgusting.
Do I still have the ability to attack?
You do? This thing is just like essentially gripped your leg and is dragging you. It's not impeded your ability to use your arms in any way, so.
Hey.
Quick aside, you did still have Bless active.
Oh, yeah.
Let me add the I'm just going to let it roll.
Okay. I get it.
But you can add it to an attack roll.
I will do that. Thank God. It's a D4, right?
It is a D4.
Does a 9 hit?
A 9 does not hit.
So I guess
You're
he's like...
taken a little off guard here. This thing is certainly not surprised to put a condition on you, but like shocked you, at least in the immediate. And it's just kind of, you fumble just a little bit, the attack goes wide.
As he misses because he's so frazzled, he's going to be like, help! And
All right.
he is dragged.
Bernie, you are immediately, as your turn begins, hearing the sound of something dragging your friend deeper into the wheat field away from the road.
Okay, that sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you hold a specific action, Devin?
I was holding an attack in case something that wasn't one of my allies leaves the grass.
Okay, gotcha.
So just a basic melee attack.
Is it... Whose turn is it now?
That'll be your turn. This thing is essentially using its movement to drag your friend away into the deeper reaches of the wheat field.
How far away from me is it?
Not very, maybe 20 feet at this point.
Oh, then I'm running straight up to it.
Yeah, because it grabbed him a little closer to the road and then made a movement in the opposite direction. So if you're moving from where you heard help, it wouldn't take you your full movement to find it.
Yeah, I'm running straight up to Zib, pointing my gun at whatever is dragging him away and letting an Eldritch Blast go.
An Eldritch Blast? All right.
Actually, no, I'm going to, once again, more spells. Thank you, DJ. I'm going to fire a spell called Pummel Stone.
Ooh.
Which, I'll just read the description. You cause a fist-sized chunk of stone to appear and hurl itself against the spell's target. Make a ranged spell attack. On a hit, the target takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage and must roll a d4 when it makes an attack roll or ability check during its next turn, subtracting the result of the d4 from the attack or check.
Ooh. Are you earthbending, my guy?
I'm about to be earthbending, my dude.
Heard that. Go ahead and make your roll.
All right. So we're going to Pummel Stone. Looks like I rolled a 10, which is awful.
A 10?
Rolled an 11.
Oh, I rolled an 11 because it added Bless.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Copy
Rolled
that.
11. Also, can I see this creature now that I'm up here?
You can. It looks, again, just like a scarecrow. It's covered in just this like battered old tunic that you can tell it's very weathered from having been sun bleached and then rained on and then sun bleached and then rained on. Like it's just survived all kinds of weather. It doesn't seem like a thing they've put regular upkeep into if it just keeps you
I thought
birds
I
out
was
of the
going
way.
to be the one running the secret campaign. Yeah.
You can have a scarecrow, buddy. I'm not monopolizing scarecrow.
Nah, it's just like that.
I'm just trying to get us. I'm just trying to live up to that sense of unease I'm trying to create.
No, I get it. I don't like. Yeah, uncanny valley. I was pulling off of the sticks and moving. I get it.
So again, it just looks like a humanoid figure. It's got like terribly elongated, sharp fingers on it. Like the overall figure, it doesn't seem to be very muscular. It's very, very gaunt. Like whatever is under this clothes and straw may just be a couple of sticks or like an incredibly thin, very emaciated looking figure. And then like the head of it, like this little burlap bag full of straw, seems almost deflated a little bit. It's a grotesque figure. And again, it carries with it like the extremely noticeable smell of like decomposition. And
I'm assuming an 11 does not hit him, right?
An 11 does not hit him, I'm afraid.
I am truly sad. but I can at least see it now, and that makes me sadder because I don't like what it looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not a fan either.
And all the straw is matted and wet and terrible. If that's your turn, Devin, you're on deck.
All right. Not having any of the qualms against cussing or cursing, he is going to let out an expletive and
Heck.
leap into the grass. Oh, heck.
Language.
you hear him say heck, it's just, oh!
Yeah, I'm going to run in to try and catch up with those two.
It won't take you long, like, based on what you're hearing, like spells being fired and your friend calling out for help. It won't take you long to find them, and you see where this thing has, like, stopped to turn and evaluate the spell that's just come at it. It's looking over Bernie, and you see where it's got your friend very firmly gripped by the leg as it was dragging him along. So it will take your full movement to get there, but I will say you're within 5 feet or so.
Okay. Then I'll go ahead and give it a hi-ya.
Oh, not a yeah.
One of them, huh? You gonna do that to me?
So attempting to hit with my halberd. You said the bless only lasted for a round, correct, Bernie?
No, bless less
concentration.
concentration. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said
up to a minute.
No, it was the other spell I cast that lasted.
that was it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it was not Atomic Heart. Jeez, that's a video game.
Armored Heart.
Armored Heart. Thank
Okay.
you.
Atomic Heart. What the fuck setting is this? Jesus Christ.
We really are Secret World now, boys.
Damn.
Next game. I'm telling you. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, so basic attack to try and stab it with my halberd. And D4 went flying. That is a 19 on the D20. That is a 1 on the D4. So that is a 20 total, not including my 2 attack bonus, which for the halberd is a +6.
Ooh,
So 26 total to hit.
god damn.
Damn. All right. I know you said you min-max, but shit. All right, then.
That's just
so
a regular fighter attack.
Where this, brag more. We're all impressed. Sure. No, so as this thing had turned to like appraise Bernie, who has just attacked him, he's got his like waist turned and he's looking over his left shoulder and has almost offered his back to you. And your strike just comes cleanly across his back. Of course, a 26 hits. I'm not that cruel. What if I had said no, though?
I would be impressed and just be like, well, I tried. Have a good time.
I would quit.
Bye, Zim.
But yeah, you cut it squarely across the back. You're just rending like some of the cloth and some of the clothes. Across the back.
Thank you.
One of its 9 backs has been rent by Halbert.
We're fighting Eldritch Nightmares, so like I didn't know, so I had to have you clarify.
It's a scarecrow. It looks like a person, more or less.
Yeah, but it could look like a person. It could look like a person.
Like a person with 9 backs. You don't know.
No, that's
hate
the
the visual that
scare
gives
scarecrow.
Yeah, it's upsetting, and if we want to make people, that's the way to do it.
How much damage are you?
It is a D10, which is a 4 on the die, +4, so a total of 8. Make math.
A total of 8. Perfect. And that
Slashing
is
damage.
slashing damage?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Fantastic. Let me just make a quick deduction on this sheet. You will see it's going to take a reaction against you. Rather than move in a way that makes immediate sense to you, the burlap bag full of straw that is its head sort of just rolls backwards across its shoulder blades and looks immediately at you as whatever like stitched tear in the bag is supposed to represent a mouth opens wide and just goes and flies come out everywhere. So everyone make me a quick dex save.
I'm being dragged on the ground though.
You are you are making this one at disadvantage.
But I'm just a little guy. Wait.
You are a little guy.
Disadvantage, dex save.
I've got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20,
I got a
fantastic.
17.
17, good.
I got a 21.
20.
Also, remember to add bless to that, my dude.
Oh yeah, I gotta add bless. 1d4.
I thought you only get it for one thing.
No, bless is for until my concentration breaks, my dude.
Really?
18.
Yeah, bless is good, dog.
So you all make the dex save, so you're only taking 4 piercing damage.
Ow, my blood.
Your blood, that is correct.
We're only taking how much?
You have that.
4.
4.
Each of you made it, so we're having the damage there. You take 4 piercing damage.
They want my pickle juice.
Then for my bonus action, I am going to use my Reaper's Mark and designate it as my target.
Okay. It is under the effect of the Hunter's Mark spell now, and you've got advantages to track it, is that correct?
Correct.
Fantastic. That might come in handy. What else do you want to do on your turn?
That should be everything. That was an attack, bonus, and move.
All right, Deejums, you're on deck.
Like, Sibonell is pissed, but he's gonna... Okay, Branch taught you better. Gonna steady aim.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have an ally within 5 feet?
Devin is within 5 feet.
Cool. So this counts as sneak attack. And I need to know for my damage calculations, is this an undead or a creature of shadow?
It would be hard to tell without making a check.
What check would I have to make?
We don't just have like a straight up lore check, huh? I'm gonna say make. You know what? We're not even gonna make this a check based on the strong smell of decomposition, blood in the air, and the presence of these corpse flies. You get a strong sense that this would be an undead creature.
Fantastic. So let me make sure I have this also going on. I should have put this in the right way. I'm sorry. This is just riveting. Podcast work?
Hell yeah.
Well, but to be fair, you're going to edit that out, so it'll be fine.
Or am I? Or am I just going to leave it in?
Yeah, we're gonna have this whole conversation about editing left in.
Undead air.
Devin takes 1 million damage.
I see. So I'm going to roll. That is a 21.
Okay, that will be a hit.
Okay, so that's going to be a D4 of Pierking with 15 sneak attack and radiant damage.
14 piercing and 15 radiant damage. That is a
10 piercing. 15.
Oh,
no,
you said
10 piercing, 11 sneak attack, and 4 radiant. No, it's all radiant. Never mind.
yeah. So you have 15 radiant and then 10 piercing. When you said 10 piercing damage, I thought you meant 14 piercing damage. I was like, wait a minute. All right. So that'll be 24 damage overall.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
20
that's a lot. Fucking
It's only
25.
level 3.
25, yeah.
Especially with radiant damage against an undead.
It does seem displeased. And now it is this thing's turn.
The last thing
Okay, go ahead.
Zeb's going to say is let me go.
It's going to say, and then it's going to use an action or some type of action. I think it's bonus action to deal.
Hey, no, it's not.
It sure is. Ooh, neat. That is going to be 9 bludgeoning damage to you.
Ow.
Was that an attack?
It was an attack it was a feature of how he has him grappled. It is essentially this long clawed hand crushing at his leg.
Did he have to roll an attack die or just automatic
No.
damage because he's grappled?
It is automatic damage because he's grappled.
Cool,
It
cool.
is a thing he can do as a bonus action on its turn.
Cool.
Loud,
Kerian?
high-pitched rabbit pain noises.
Yes. And that is just regular non-magical bludgeoning damage. DJ, what is your AC?
15.
15? All right. I have a 17 to hit. Devin, did you want to interact with that at all?
I do have the Sentinel feat, so if it is making an attack against an ally that isn't me, within 5 feet of me, then I get to make an attack against them.
All right. Then you can make that attack. It is certainly making an attack against an ally.
It sure is. Help.
Alrighty. So with the Bless and the Reaper's Mark attached to this, I'm going to roll the halberd.
How cool would it be if I died in the first episode?
Really funny. It'd be honestly pretty great.
That is a 16 on the die, plus 4, plus 2, plus 2 from the Bless.
Ooh. That will absolutely hit.
So that is going to be a 2 on the die for the damage, plus 4. And then the Reaper's Mark is going to be a d6. And that is a 6.
Nice.
Nice. All right. So what is the total damage?
That is 6 slashing and 6 necrotic.
Fantastic. Make a couple of quick deductions here.
And
Okay.
then additions.
Dokie. And now it will proceed with its attack. That will be. You said your AC was 16? I'm sorry?
15.
15. Okay.
And I'm not level 5, so I don't have uncanny dodge, but I wish I did.
It is going to take out another of these very crude-looking stone hatchets, and it is just going to like slash at your midsection with this long, gaunt arm, dealing 7 slashing damage. And I need you to make me a con save, please.
Dear. 20 for the con save.
20 for the con save. Nothing seems to be happening based on that.
Okay. Sibonel's not looking great. He looks close to tears.
After that, this thing is going to try and charge off into the wheat, which should trigger an attack of opportunity from Devin, I think.
Dude, I should have did that on my turn. Never mind.
I believe so.
What were you trying to do?
A save to get out of his grip, but I should have did that on my turn.
Oh, gotcha. If you want to go ahead and roll a save, go for it. This would be an acrobatics or an athletics to get out.
Acrobatics, please.
Go for it.
That's a 9.
A 9 does not quite cut it, I'm afraid.
I have a +8 to acrobatics.
And what did you say, Devin? What did you roll?
I hadn't yet. I was waiting for that to go.
Okay, you have an AOO on the table.
That is a 10 on the dice, +4, +2, +1. That is a 17 total.
That will hit.
All right.
What's up?
I hate to be this guy. Devin,
Yes.
does your sentinel feat require...
Tunnel Fighter
Tunnel
says...
Fighter.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Tunnel Fighter says I don't have to use my reaction to make opportunity attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Just making sure we are all on board.
We are on the level. I had to do some studying on Tunnel Fighter, but we are on the level.
It is strong.
Yeah, that's not a thing I had heard of before you brought it up.
But yeah, it is. So for 17 hits, I'll go ahead and roll my dice. That is a 10 slashing and a 3 necrotic.
Mm-hmm.
And as per Sentinel, its speed becomes 0 for the rest of the turn.
Sweet. Enraged, the whole of its body, like including dragging DJ to the side as it just wheels around and hurls that axe at you. So, do you want to engage with the roll at all? Do you have anything that can alter a roll in this moment?
Not that doesn't require a reaction.
Okay, that is a critical hit against you, sir.
Ah, dang.
So I'm going to need a con save from you.
Oh boy. I am proficient.
Oh
at
my
those, at
god.
least. That's not a good noise. That is a natural 20. Oh shit.
A natural 20. All right. You take 15 clean slashing damage as this thing carves through your shoulder before tumbling to the ground behind you. And when I say like it's meant to tear, I mean this hurts.
Yeah. That would have killed me if I didn't save.
The con save is not a damage thing, it's something else.
Oh, okay.
So,
Wait, so you're dead?
No.
Oh.
I thought it was con save to have.
God, if it was about to hit you for 30 damage, I'm out. No.
yeah, if this thing could hit for 30 damage off a reaction, I'd shit, and I'm the DM.
I mean, 15 is still a good one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it crits you.
Yeah.
So that will finish its turn. Bernie, you may go.
How far is it from
And
me
then
at this
Devin,
point?
you're on deck. It did not get to move because of the Sentinel feat, because that's totally fair and DMs love it. So you can. It is right where you left it.
All right, sick. I am going to shoot at it. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
So we're going to roll a pummel stone once again.
Ooh.
Does a 14 hit?
A 14 does hit.
Oh wait, sorry.
You do have bless also.
I don't know why I rolled twice, but the actual first roll is a 20 altogether. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, that
Yeah,
hits.
so dirty 20 for 7 bludgeoning damage, and then we'll roll 4, and then subtract 1 from their next attack roll or saving throw. If I
Okay.
remember correctly.
Fantastic. And
Attack
what was your total
or-
damage again? I'm sorry.
Attack or check 7 bludgeoning.
7 bludgeoning.
Yes.
Alrighty. What else you got?
That will be my. Well, I'll move closer. I'll run up next to Zib if I can.
Yeah, you can get right next to where he's at.
Yeah, I'm going to park myself next to Zib, and that'll be my turn.
All right. Devin, you're up.
All right.
And then DJ, you're on deck after the fact.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna stab it.
Stab it.
Yeah.
That is an 18 on the die.
Oh, that'll hit. I'll tell you for free, that'll hit.
Yeah. So it's going to be a D10 plus 4. 10 plus 4. That was the D4 for... it's supposed to be a D6 for the Reaper's Mark.
I'll let you roll a D4 for it if you want.
So it is an 8 on the D10. It is a 1 on the D6.
9 damage, one of which is necrotic. Okey-dokey.
So 8 plus 4 for the slashing.
Gotcha.
So
12 and then
13.
1 necrotic.
Correct.
Good to go.
Because I dealt damage to it via necrotic, I get 2 temporary HP.
Yeah.
It might be relevant.
I don't believe that you guys have ever encountered such a thing before. It would be hard for you to medically assess how this thing's doing, but it seems to be slowing down a little bit. And then that is DJ's turn if you're done.
All right. First, I'm going to try and get out of this thing's grip.
Go for it.
It's going to be acrobatics. That is a 22 on acrobatics.
You are able to wiggle and jiggle and slip your foot free from this thing's grasp.
Oh, he is clawing at that hand, trying to get free. Just
Oh, yeah.
the most panicked look on his face. Then I'm going to bonus action disengage and move.
You're clawing at his hand, you said?
Yeah, whatever has Zipnel's foot gripped.
Yeah, as you touch his hand, you get away, but you can look down at your own hands and see they are just covered in this really oily black blood.
And he's gonna shuffle the 30 feet away. And,
You said you disengaged?
yeah,
Okay.
a bonus action disengaged. That is my turn.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna use the reeds as just natural cover.
Okay, yeah. So, that would make it this thing's turn. Devin, what was your AC again?
My AC is an 18.
It's an 18. All right, this is a hit. Doesn't crit you this time.
Can I go ahead and use my reaction?
Yeah, if you'd like to.
I would like to give it a silvery barbs.
Oh, yeah. What does that do again?
I magically distract the triggering creature into making a second reroll, and it must use the lower of the 2 rolls.
The lower of the 2. Okay.
Then I can choose a different creature I can see within range, including myself. The chosen creature will gain advantage on their next attack roll, save, or ability check in the next minute.
Gotcha. That is going to come up because this is still a hit on an 18.
Okay. Since I did use my reaction, actually, reading this, I don't think it triggers.
Yeah, because this thing can't have gone yet, right?
Yeah, if you use your reaction before the start of its turn. Okay,
Yeah,
so I can't.
We're on its turn now.
Rip.
Oh, that's nice. All right, that'll be 9 slashing damage.
All right. 2 temporary HP and then 7 to my face.
And then you have a con save for me, please, which I think you said you had advantage on.
Correct.
Okay.
That is a 4 on the die, and that is an 18 on the die. So that is an 18 plus my con of 4.
Plus a bless.
Oh, yeah. No.
Suffice to say, you do make it.
Yeah, 26 total in the save.
Gotcha. All right. So that was DJ's turn. This thing has just gone. Bernie, it is your turn.
Second verse, same as the first. We're gonna shoot at the thing because it's there and we want it gone. This time we're going to do the tried and true old Eldritch Blast.
Nice.
So
Show me them rolls.
we're going to fire. That is a critical, my friend.
Ooh,
That's a buttery roll.
25.
Go ahead.
That is a 27 altogether, my man.
All right.
That is going to be 18 force damaggio.
18 force damage. Man, does force seem like a common resistance to you guys? Because it doesn't to me.
The prophecy is fulfilled. We have necrotic, radiant, and force.
Yeah. I'm just having so much fun. Oh my god. All right. You said that was 18?
That is 18 altogether, yes.
Ooh, that is a chunky Eldritch Blast.
It is.
What does your Eldritch Blast look like?
It looks like a glowing golden bullet fired from my summoned pistol made of gold.
That's very fucking good.
And you said that you were next to where Zibinel was, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Please make me a dex save. And remember to add your bless.
That is a 13.
With the bless included?
With the bless included, sadly.
This thing sweeps low with a clawed hand, grabbing you by the leg and sweeping you off your foot.
Oh no.
Does it do damage?
No.
Okay.
But you are in the grappled condition.
Sick.
And then we are at the top of the round. Devin, what you got?
Gotta get rid of this thing.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be moving, so I'm thinking about hitting it as many times as I can.
Hit it as many times as you want to.
I'll hit it with the first attack and see how that goes. Well, I'll attempt to hit it. I shouldn't say I just hit it. That is an 18 on the die, so I probably hit it.
You do hit it.
And we got a D10 plus a D6. That is the same roll I had last time. So it is an 8 plus 4 for slashing and a 1 for necrotic.
Woo! This is a tattered-looking scarecrow, my guys.
All right. So as he comes up with an upward slash on that side, he's going to kind of do a half spin and hit it with the haft with the bonus action from Polearm Master.
Uh-huh.
Keep forgetting to bless. That is a 13 on the die. The halberd, same ability modifier as the primary attack. So that's still going to be a +4 or +6 rather.
Ooh.
So plus the bless die of 3. So that is a 20 dirty.
20 dirty.
Nice.
Yeah, that will hit.
It only does a D4 of damage, but it is bludgeoning.
Mm-hmm.
I assume I still add proficiency to it? Or
that would be my assumption. I mean, based off the polearm thing.
well, yeah, so it is a D4 for 1 total damage, plus the D6, because it is getting hit by my necrotic again.
Uh-huh.
That is a 4 on the necrotic.
Nice.
That'll be 5 total.
If I add proficiency of 2, then I would do that.
Gotcha.
Or strength of 4. I don't know how that works.
God, I'd have to go back and reread it, but we'll just add it for now.
Then in that case, it would be 8 bludgeoning damage. 5 bludgeoning damage for necrotic.
Beautiful. Alrighty, what else you got?
That would be it for me.
DJ, show him the sauce. What you got?
Zibinel is openly crying. Sees Killain grappled.
As you moved into the wheat to get cover, you've also provided cover, so you're gonna have to be closer to get a good look at anything.
He's gonna take like 2 seconds, and he's gonna go back into the clearing.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I can't leave him. So again, steady aim. Gonna draw back real far on that bowstring. It's gonna glow gold. And
Uh-huh.
Wait, did you move?
yeah, I moved into the
He said he moved back into the clearing, yeah.
yeah.
Like this turn, then you can't use steady aim.
Well, no advantage.
Do you not get advantage for us being adjacent to it?
I do. I just also wanted. No, it's not
No,
advantage.
Well, it's advantage for the purposes of sneak attack.
Yeah.
It's not like legit.
Yeah. That is a 22 plus 4.
That will hit.
It's
Y'all
going
out here
to be-
rolling 26s and shit, damn.
Ugh, that is only 17 damage.
Only 17.
Only?
Oh,
10
whoa.
piercing, 7 radiant.
Over here doing 6.
Gotcha. 7 radiant, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So, really quickly, make me... Never mind, let me... Oh, goodness gracious, that's a 23 to hit,
Oh, I'm going down.
and that is for 8 slashing damage.
I'm downed.
He's
Is-
downed.
Is he
As
still-
you
wait a
as
minute.
you also down the scarecrow.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, so as you attack this thing, it's able to quickly retaliate in the moment, but you see whatever grotesque power is animating this thing seems to finally be defeated as it crumples to the ground.
Zibba now gets knocked back a few feet into the wheat.
So as this thing falls over, Kieran's gonna kick it to the side and offer a hand to Killain.
I'm good. Check on Zib.
Right. And he's gonna kind of walk over to where our Hare and gun is bleeding out on the floor. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, a real sad sight, honestly.
And while he's doing that, I'm gonna investigate this here Scarecrowman.
Yeah, you can look them over. Is there anything you're looking for in particular?
Anything that will give us any real information about it? I guess like checking it physically to see if it was like animated through a more physical means, or if it was like a spell, like to see if there's been anything like on it that could point us to anything. I'm just gonna give it a once over in basically every regard. I want to do an insight and an arcana, if that is okay with you.
Not
an
I'll
insight,
give you
an
an investigation and an arcana.
That's what I meant. My
Yeah.
mouth just doesn't work.
That's fine.
An investigation and an arcana. Investigation 18, arcana 21.
Okay.
And I want to know what made it, and I want to see if that is any sort of important.
With regards to anything specific that was animating it, it would be hard for you to tell, but it is wildly unnatural and feels profanely evil.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like a normal raised dead kind of thing.
It does not feel like an animate dead situation. It doesn't even feel like this was just some animated ghoul or anything like that from some higher level necromancy. This doesn't give you a usual necromancy vibe at all, in fact.
It's truly unsettling in ways that I just do not like or appreciate.
And based on your investigation, if you wanted to like check into the physicality of this thing, we could do that. Or was there anything else you were looking for?
Yeah, I'm just looking it over to see if there's anything important, like that could be of any use. Any physical anomalies beyond it being a grotesque creature, or any items it might have.
It has one more of those hatchets just dangling from a rope off of the shoulders on the tunic.
Does the hatchet seem to be magical?
No, it just seems to be like a crude, very rudimentary weapon. Again, this is not an axe that was designed to be a tool. This was specifically designed to like damage things with flesh.
So then this is not some like accident of nature. This is an armed.
Yes, this was specifically like this was created with a design in mind. Yes.
Yeah, this was purposeful.
Yeah, it seems like the rock was almost like flint-knapped, if that makes sense, to get this jagged, like almost saw-like edge on it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm gonna pick it up.
As you like touch around on it and kind of investigate its physicality, you see that there is in fact a very gaunt humanoid body, or at least what was once humanoid, underneath most of the scarecrow. Where the head would go is totally empty. That is just straw.
Truly upsetting.
Cool.
This is an upsetting sentence, but can I check to see if it's got all its organs?
Juicy.
Well, that's a way of saying it. Not juicy at all is another way of saying it. If you want to cut into this thing, I will make that a pretty easy thing to discover.
I will pull out a dagger and cut into this thing's belly.
Yes. You see, like, beneath this leathery, very light gray flesh, like if you've ever looked at a campfire the next morning, it's got like that ash gray tone to it. But as you cut into it, you see that all the organs seem to be there. They are all spilling bile, and that seems to be where this horrible, horrible smell is coming from.
And the last thing I'm going to ask for, any identifying marks on the body, any tattoos or anything that can still be made out?
There doesn't
identify the corpse.
There doesn't seem to be anything. This is just like a pale, naked, once humanoid flesh that seems to have been warped and distended in places. Like a lot of what would seem like a normal human skeleton seems very like elongated in the arms, with the hands and fingers being like distended and unnaturally clawed. But it is distinctly human, or at least part human, or it once was.
You can't tell without the head, really.
That would be difficult without the head.
Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to make sure, like, in case we could find out who it was. Not really DNA testing, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll invent a spell for that. But yeah, that'll be it for me. Please heal Zed.
Yeah. Well, while he's doing that, Kieran's gonna kind of just lean over and press one glowing thumb to the Harengon's head and just be like, "Go ahead and get back on your feet. Zibnel's slave won't be visiting with my master just yet."
After you do that, Zip does that thing where you hop up real fast and just skitter back a couple feet. Really heavy breathing,
It's
looking
9
around
HP.
wide-eyed.
9 HP.
All right.
Ooh.
I
I wish I could ever roll that good when I cast
Right?
a healing spell.
Yeah.
Fucking-
Rolled a 7 on a D8. I was like, "Yep."
What was that?
I believe that was an axe to your thinking parts.
I think it hit me in the shoulder. I mean, what through the axe?
He's just gonna like point a thumb over to his shoulder to where to Killain is standing.
Is it dead?
Again, yes.
Is this normally what you have to go through with these pages?
Yes.
How long would you guys say that you've been standing around, like near where the body is?
I don't know, a couple minutes for how long it would take me to investigate.
I'd say it would have just been a couple seconds for me to go over there and pop the heel.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to gut a body?
I don't know. How long does it take you to gut a body?
We don't need to talk about how fast I can do it.
I'd say about 30 seconds.
I was about to say, I'm not going to say anything that can incriminate me, you understand? But,
I'd say about 30 seconds to split them open and poke around and make sure all those organs are there.
yeah, we're
And
going to
then
say
another
that you
30
guys,
to
after
check the
investigating, healing, getting back on your feet, are just about to hit the 2-minute mark after this fight. Somebody, or everyone can do this. Make me a quick perception of the regular variety.
I can do that.
I can't.
10.
16. Are we still blessed?
Wait, my passive is 14.
How long does Bless last?
Bless is for saving throws and attack rolls, not checks.
I knew that.
Fair.
Dab.
But yeah, my passive is 14, so it'll be a 14.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, the passive 13. we'll go with that,
13.
not the 7 I was about to have.
Everybody that got a 12 or over definitely notices this thing twitching.
I shoot it.
I also
so-
shoot it.
To be a bit descriptive, where it fell down on its back, the limbs break and invert, and this thing starts to try and crawl away in like a quickly skittering motion. It gets all General Grievous on you and is low to the ground trying to get away. So everybody can make me an
So
attack
14.
roll really quick.
Does a 14 hit?
A 14 will hit. Who else is shooting?
A 14 from me also.
Okay, 14 hits.
I'll say I'm not shooting. I don't know if it's within range of my halberd.
Is somebody close enough to it for me to get sneak attack?
Bernie
I
was
I think
don't
Bernie
know.
would have been. He was investigating it.
Like I am on top of it.
A cool 18.
That's 8 force damage for me. 8 fork damage.
8 force damage, so that'll be 26 total.
Yeah.
All right. It will hit the ground, twitching, and you can tell that it would be screaming, but for want of a head. And after a couple of seconds, it just seems to start to disintegrate. And like just ash starts flowing off of this thing as the wind is blowing.
All right, good talk. So I'm gonna go home. Don't know where that is, but I don't want to be this. This is bad.
It wouldn't take you guys long at all to get up to the caravan, which is pretty much entering the city at this point. It's approaching.
Oh, I was talking about me, Bernie. I'm going.
Well, time to hit the old dusty trail.
He's like, this is all nasty and I don't want to be here. Goodbye.
Nah, but yes, I will return to the caravan. Gun back off in whatever dimension it comes from. And
the fate dimension.
Yeah, the fate dimension. I think I literally have a bullet with everyone. Crazy. Like I literally like that.
You have a what?
A bullet with everyone's name on it because I'm here to bring them their end if I'm supposed to be the one that kills them.
Oh.
Like the bullet that gets them would be the one that's supposed to get them. Pretty sick.
It is a fated thing.
It is a fated thing.
But a bullet with people's name on it is dark, so we're going to leave that one lie. As you guys get back up to where the caravans were, everybody's going to be like hurriedly asking, like, what was that? What was happening? We heard you guys like fighting, and then we just didn't see anything. What happened?
Just your run-of-the-mill undead.
Undead in the fields?
Yeah, yes, undead by some enterprising necromancer. I don't know what they want, but it was armed. So
there's a necromancer around?
I'm assuming.
People are just panicking in this moment.
I mean, no. There's no necromancer.
You can roll me a deception if you would like.
Zibinel's curled up next to his coffee bag.
That is a 13 on my deception. How perceptive are these people? Can they tell that I'm lying? Keep in mind that I don't have a face that moves.
We'll roll a general insight. Yeah, that's a hell of a poker face. All right.
My face is just a porcelain and gold mask.
There is no immediate panic, but there is a very pointed unease within the crowd as people are getting into the town. And
I love that. I mean, no, there's no.
Excuse me, there isn't a necromancer. I misspoke.
But there was one run-of-the-mill undead, one plucky upstart trying to do a one-man undead rebellion, and he's been quelled. We're good.
Oh, alrighty. You see people starting to like prepare to unload everything once they get like right at the center of town so that people can come in and, get their share of the goods for what they had originally sent out to trade and stuff like that. So they've got all that together, and then there's plus, a few extras that people can come in and trade for, items like the coffee and stuff like that.
I'm going to attempt to find Old Ernest.
Old Ernest? Yeah, once they get to the center of town, you'll find him just unloading just the remaining jars that he had, and then some other like linen items, these like brand new, like much nicer blankets and stuff like that. They seem to be plenty warm and plush and cozy, as the winter months are starting to approach. So he's got all kind of items like that, some perishable, some not.
I'm going to approach Old Ernest and say, hello.
Oh, hey there. How did that scuffle out in the field go?
We won, but I have two things to say to you. One, glad you're okay, and two,
I'm glad you're okay.
Thank you. That if I could cry, I might right now, but no, to know where one could wash because I am currently covered in viscera.
Oh, well, if you wanted to, I would sincerely ask that you not wash in or around the well itself, but if you wanted to take a few pails of the well water, you could go over just to the side of town there and maybe rinse all that off you.
I will ask one of my friends to gather it because once again, and then I'll lift my hands and they'll be covered in like black zombie mess. I
actually think Devin is the only one that does not have some distinct amount of horrible zombie mess on them.
I should probably not touch the well. So I'm going to get Kerian to do it. Thank you. Where would I buy some of the mineral water you mentioned earlier?
Oh, the mineral oil? Oh,
Yes.
we've got that over at the Carpenter's.
I will be heading there.
He'll lean in close, careful not to touch you, and he'll give you a wink and say, "Just tell him old Ernest sent you. He'll cut you a good bargain."
Thank you very much. You are a delightful human being, and I am glad.
I'm very, very glad to have met you, Killain. You're one of the best.
Once again, if I were capable, I would cry. Thank you. And then I'm going to turn around and walk to the carpenter.
I want to say thank you for listening to this broadcast. Realm Walker Radio is Tyler Oliver, Bernie Singleton III, Devin, Tant, and me, Dale Gilmore Jr. The theme is Scribbling in the Diary, composed by me. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a comment, a positive rating, and why not share it with a friend? Again, thanks for listening, and the next episode will be going live in about 2 weeks. See you then.